Oh, I forgot. I forgot about Herlock Jones in the hospital. I guess this will show us what happened to him. Or what's happening to him. Let me see. Yep. You're like, I don't want to say goodbye. Just go to bed. And then we literally cried our heart out. The end. Alright, we're in Saint Sinner's Hospital. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Oh! Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. Is this Susato talking to him or something? Yep, my dear madam. What did she mean? Things in the right place. Secret. Oh, I could have ended here. Dang, okay. That's fine. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know. Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are ya? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day. Don't say it like that. Even so. But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Oh! How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Meow. Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Damn! Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon, so even if the train's delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give them monkeys, really. If only all good news cancel out the bad. And look! This trial has made the headlines too! Pawnbroker perishes in pickpurse plunder, see? How'd you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Runa will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will? And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be this charged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Brunel? Oh, yes, let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. I guess this is important. I want to look at it. Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Hmm? Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but... Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Can she come up with us? She's only 10. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Jeannie. Well, I was wondering, is all, about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. Sure, Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. There's Gina Lestrade, counsel for defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Runo. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Oh boy, some same old people over here. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the Public Prosecution Service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware of that have led to this erratic behavior? Oh, now we're questioning him. In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Oh god, she's so short! Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded, if I had known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome. Those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies, only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confident stricters from those tiny islands in the far east. The Nipponese. Damn, okay, he's just racist. What? Did he really just say that? He means you now, Bruno. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? Both can be true. An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know, chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible, but could I have? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Mouse! Wait! This is the... Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. This is the guy who left Russia. Is something wrong, Bruno? Oh, not exactly. I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped. You are being duped. That... Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windebank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. That's not the whole crime scene, that's just his body. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Oh, like going up instead of going down? And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. I'm streaming more? I'm just getting back to it right now. It's because I broke my computer December, and then so I had to buy new parts. So I took December and January off, and then I'm back to it pretty regularly. This week is a little different because I won't be home this weekend. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand him to the bailiff, please. I want to see the autopsy report. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. Hold on, let me look at this. I guess these are also evidence for us. Wait, what? These are the only case notes, just 2 pages? Oh, his real name is Mason Milverton. I was hoping there'd be more. Alright, let's see. Pawnbroker perishes in pickpurse plunder. How awful! Virginia, I mean. But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Diver is Dauntless Do-Gooder. Right? Yeah, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger. Bigger? How? Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial. Perhaps. Protects planet? Ooh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great. Talk to the paper then. There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Oop. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that? That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo? No, of course not. I wonder... Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be, and it could explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Okay, I guess that's important. This is just the same thing. Yeah, okay. Time of death 1 to 1:30. Postmortem findings. Upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Posterior anterior bullet wound to the heart. Back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Okay, that is what they told us. It's a big bullet. I don't know if there's anything else to see here. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windibank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? One of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the East End. Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood in her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? This girl's guilty as hell! We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. That's true. Don't fucking pour your wine at me. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious. After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Ugh. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windibank on 16th April of this year. It's the fucking two robbers. Oh. What is he doing here? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Name's Snash Skulkin. Occupation is our baddie. Professional baddie. Baddie? Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's same as in. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. Be what they call the three Skulkin brothers. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. Oh, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him, we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we come across you. The very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? It looks just like him. He is, Nash, he is. The very spit of him. So we decided there and what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you Big Bruv Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves, are they, these three? No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Oh my god, he's on a box. Ordar, ordar! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector, skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. They're still witnesses. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Because a Skulkin's never skulkin'. What? Get out of it. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff store was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. Once we got inside, cool, blimey, lummy, we had a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor, we never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. Damn, okay. A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes. the matter, Bruno? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Yeah, I was there. Kind of. Oh, before we do anything, let's save. Just in case. He was walking down Baker Street.
Hold it!
The front door of Winterbanks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1. Right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burn inside. What about you, Sulky meal mucker? Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That is pure conjecture. Ha, perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say. Don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looked just like our bruv. Wait, they saw a man that looks just like him there? Or... no, I think they just found him this way. I said cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bro? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Winterbank always used to leave his gun lying around the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Winterbank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true, I remember him saying that as well. We can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as a murder weapon. No, I have proof. Yes, my lord, we can. You policemen didn't even see this? And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. The door was locked from the inside.
Hold it!
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Fuck you. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom. Of course there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Eh? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or a scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. You're giving them credit? You're a prosecutor. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Ipanese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. Damn. Never took nothing left after that, nice and quiet. You weren't nice and quiet. I was there.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it's bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left, nice and quietly, you say. That's right, governor. Nothing we ate more than violence. Peace loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out me Lucy lockets. So you clearly like us to believe. Eh? Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers at night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. By the bleeding Nora. Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. Oh my god, he's actually saying they shot Sherlock Holmes? Damn! He's human too, I guess. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. I will give you evidence.
Objection.
I got evidence. Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windibanks that night. Court demands all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm? This one. But I'm gonna check to see if there's anything else. I don't think so. Nope.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. I mean, they didn't bring it up, so we're gonna bring it up. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein. Yes, my lord? No more dallying in counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? This one.
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Windibank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed. The bullet pierced Mr. Windibank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes it is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun into pawnbrokers that night. Yeah, how come the police didn't find that, bitch? Ordar! How's the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? Throw it! Throw it! If that is a direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? There we go. But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Hey, take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into the details. A deal? Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zeeks? As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windibank at all. So that's it. That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? We're in for it now, bro. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me, don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Oh god. Excuse me. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Okay, we didn't look at those. I tried to look at them, but I couldn't see where they were. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer to the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here. And here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Heh, that's a bit of friar talk, eh, bro? Lady Luck loves a skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Eh? Must have been just after 1. Right, bro. Must have been Nash, must have been. Yeah, just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord! It's a defendant! Miss Gina Lestrade! As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Ah, damn it. I don't believe it! Ginny! In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windibank. I say, my lord. I don't know who this is. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maywand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see, the battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadev squadron's position, sir. But no, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, men, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times. And that goes for making decisions, too. I think if I treated it as clear as day now, I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear? Stop. No room for doubt? Stop. Truth not undeniable? Stop. I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this manner. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Fuck all of you.
Guilty.
Did that man just use his head? It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. Photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him! No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well. The court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We beat you 2 times before. Are you surprised? We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. Okay, that's a word. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. I've left it in there. I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up? Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. The circumstance of this crime and the evidence indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom locked from the inside in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention, this print! Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. Afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windivank. Which means there's more to this situation that we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Alright, let's press all of them.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garrett house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers move out, and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot, but not for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course, there can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. Stop! No! She's so young! I will kill him! Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done, not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpurses, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. Alright. At least we have people like the Great Detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right, I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes? A maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Thank God. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the Great Detective. Damn, okay.
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry? Whether it was the thieves or the pickpurse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy. Bruno! It was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Well then, I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this maid's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first. Okay, we'll pit her against the Russian guy. That's one thing we can do.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. Could it really? We only have one photo. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ooh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. Never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only you could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Sir, what do you have to say?
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. Oh god. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Okay. His fucking reason doesn't count.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to four corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Oh! He got something to say about it.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3? Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you just not use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease a man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. He's very calm about it for some reason. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Bruno? Any place we could look at with a stereoscope? I guess this photo. I'm gonna save just in case. Hee hee. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Ah, shit. I don't have one.
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Bruno. What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? I remembered. You know, one for the left eye and one for the right. Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need two prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Hahaha. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? I guess that this changed his... That changed his, thingy, what he said.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not Feelin Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Yeah, I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like Wish's criminal. Your words, not mine. I just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day, I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound sage at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like Wish's criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathy for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulkin brothers? Yeah, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That is all what I want to say. The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well first of all, that's one not-so-little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Bruno? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. I can't change the minds. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got one thing. Did anyone ever shoot anyone? It. Wait, why did her thingy change? Did she swing for shooting? Here it is. This is the one I was looking for. Oh. Sorry, I'm reading the thing on the top. Good lord, I was confused.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement? Contradictory. See, juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen, A, B, D. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Ah, here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. You thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done nothing, but truth is, they shot detective. Duh. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. He's just a revolutionary. It's okay. This means when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault though, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be Yes, it is, Runo. Easily. Sorry. With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Hooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling out the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused move into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers enter the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then. Oh, so this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. Wait. That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. Wait, can we put them together? So the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot men, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right, I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Oh, sensible. Yay! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. There must be more in what the jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand out photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Hell yes! Now we can put these two together and see. I wonder if we can make use of that. Yes, we can! In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. Okay, let's see. Sir, help me out here.
Hold it!
Can it really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Oh, wait. I did her voice with Ryunosuke's line. Oops. Yeah, slightly shifted. Look at that. Anyways.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any two suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Gotcha. Gotcha, homie.
Take that!
Alright, these two prints were both taken with the same camera in Windibanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's a small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So, what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered a secret. I have. Oh, her eyes are... Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on! Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them? Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, she managed to see it properly, Bruno. Wait, hold on. Let me look at it. I know the thing was broken on the bottom. But does that match? Or is that even relevant? I'll say yes. What's going on with these two pictures? Okay, there we go. Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Everyone is... Okay, look. Yes, that's it, you see. That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why did these just some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles. The stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Iris, you're so tiny. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does this shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I have the first idea. You know, Bruno, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 AM. Then, 13 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zucker. What? Zookers? Someone tampered. New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting that you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. It's the boys! Does it matter which one? Wait, I'm gonna save. What is his deal? I just realized he showed up and then left.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait. This does not agree with what brother said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrasebook says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Mrs. Straw's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick purse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better. In fact, worse than a pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. He's using his head. Can y'all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Boop. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Oh, she's gonna buy a stereoscope. Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Yay, well done! Oh, by the way... What? You should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright. Lord Van Zeeks. You will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. Throw it, throw it, throw it! I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Damn you! I won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Probe. Oh, okay. That's really short. Order, please. Let's resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Cool! Blimey! This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. We just went in and left. We didn't steal anything. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Cool, blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Oh. Get your story straight. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Okay, you didn't say anything when they were saying their silly lies, Mr. Prosecutor. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. We hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Peach. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when you heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where he found it and scoppered. Right, straightened him in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. Okay, so they're not, brave anymore, they're cowards. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be a coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. I guess I'll press them, see what comes up.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't Nash, we ain't. If we admit something like that, people would think we was up to no good. But, hold on. Your literal job is professional baddie. Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. Oh, well, that's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? Never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. He is going to kill you. Sorry.
Hold it!
So what you're saying is... the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny could have woken up at that bang. Big bro here screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly then. Well, a racket. Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM! Why are you... Interesting.
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. Okay. No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? Come on now. Just say it. As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. The statement they gave them told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs. Right you are, Gov. Bitch. Give me that gun. Interesting. Okay.
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Bam. Kinda thing. Career in acting tragically missed. Wait, a career in acting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank. On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice. Eh? So that would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. Nah, we didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny when the bloke and all the fancy clubbers giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a Good job, his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. We're not gonna talk about the fact that they knew you should just fire to the yell at the girl. Oh, okay. They added that. What? Hold on. What did I say before? Give me that gun. Okay. I need to see what their acting sounded like. Here. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. So who said what?
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Winterbank had a gun in his hands. Oh yeah, I bet that was a side, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winterbank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. He'd put a bullet in his own head, actually. That's someone being himself, of course. Yeah, that's what I said. Good grief, extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked this goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeeze the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!" And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun! Bam! Kinda thing. Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up. They look so happy.
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like, through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps. Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day... we'll really cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. What the fuck was all that about? Gina was in there, unconscious with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have, even if he'd wanted to. Okay. Stuck everything back where he found it, and Scarford... Sure.
Hold it!
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. True. Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Well, your mind goes totally blank. Make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental no made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the dobbies on us like winking. And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Okay, I haven't looked at the new stuff, actually. Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it, done it, eh? We did not look at stuff. That's a gun, alright. This is Mr. Windibank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Mr. Windibank always used to keep this gun to hand on his shop counter. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. But his one bullet was fired at night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? No. I don't know if there's anything else to say about this, though. No. That is a big-ass gun. So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which tell us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in through Windibank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Yeah, it's okay, you're 10. I'm sure he'd be like, haha, it's okay. I'm alive and well, if only I could get the scalpel out of me. Okay, nothing else here. You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see? And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions. The important thing is to get right is the position of the 2 prints. I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. It's so true. Did the same thing. Oh, I opened it. Ooh, look at that! It's totally changed shape, just from one little button press. Well, that is what the button's for, Bruno. You're just like Harley. You've always loved pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do. Us boys? That's a 10-year-old girl. I mean, he did press the emergency button while we were on the ship. Anyway, now you can see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you? Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting to find here, but yes, it is a stereoscope. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, that's all the new stuff.
Hold it!
And why should we believe that? Hey, what? Well, because it's true, innit? The place was totally empty when you went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these 2 witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct. You've got it, mister. Down to a T. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true, I wonder? No, because they know his voice. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony. What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you describe. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Yeah. Okay. Is there something we can... Okay, it's the same thing. Is there something we can glean from this, though? I guess I'll press again. Okay, something... Yeah. It has to be about the voice. He was holding a gun? How do you know? Wait, can I present the picture? Hold on. I'm gonna save. Because in the picture he was not holding one.
Objection!
You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun, is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture. Yes, Nash, yes, no question. And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more? Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, counsel. Yeah, that's right. Too right, Nash, too right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh? Hardly likely. No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Ugh. Continue with the cross-examination, counsel, and heed my earlier warning, witnesses. A skulkin's never skulkin'. What the fuck? What do I present? How does he know that's his voice?
Hold it!
Can we add that in the in the court record, please? Yeah, they knew him. Do you have nothing to say, Gregson? I feel like we have to present something, but I don't know what. Can we ask? We didn't. They didn't say anything about a gunshot. You never even had a chance. Can we present that? Hold on. Just in case.
Objection!
No, that's not right. Never had a chance. What are you talking about? Oh, God. I guess they're gun.
Objection!
Let's just consider the implications of that statement for a moment, shall we? What implications, Counsel? Nothing strikes me about it. Exactly. Ugh, damn it. I'll take the L. Different angles. Maybe I have to present something else. But what? Don't know what. Oh God, I don't know what. You did knock a few things over. Oh man, I don't know why. My brain's fried. I don't know what angle I'm supposed to get this with. So we'll end it here.